Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video we are going to design HR dashboard. So yeah, I'm currently working on the dashboarding. I'm going to be drawing the various shapes in PowerPoint, and this will help us to do our dashboarding. We are going to put our chart on these shapes, so please just follow along. So we continue in working on our dashboard. Here we are going to load our data from Excel. Click on import data from Excel. Then I'm going to attach this to my YouTube channel. You can easily download the data and then the Power BI dashboard after we are done. So click on all files, then I'm going to break this in HR dashboard. So this data is already cleaned, so I'm going to load this directly into our Power BI. You might just try transform data. If you click on transform data, that is because you want to manipulate one or two things. I always advise, whenever you're working with your data, the first thing is to understand your data. After you establish your objective, right? The objective of this is to design an HR dashboard, right? Showing total payroll cost, showing total employee we have in the business, showing employee by department, and then the HR person also said every other relevant KPIs should be displayed. Right now I'm going to go ahead to look at data that we have available and how we can bring in those insights to the HR person. Here we're not looking at attrition in details, however I will show number of people leaving and number of people that we have left in the company. But my focus here is to just display employee dashboard. Then I'm going to display two separate dashboard. The first one will be on employee dashboard, while the second one I'm going to talk about the attrition in details. But here on the overview, I'm just doing employee dashboard. So try to understand your data. We have age, we have attrition, meaning people leaving the company or people who have left the company, and then who we have left. This contains all the employee data of people that have already worked in the company. Then in terms of business travel, they rarely travel, they travel frequently, and all those things. We see how these provide insights to us. Then what is the daily rate of employee, department, we are distant from home. Here, distant from home, we can create some extra columns on distant from home. We can begin to look at how far does an employee live from the office, right? And then maybe from there, we get some insight to say if majority of our employees live far from the office, we might want to investigate why. And then from there, looking at what we can do to reduce that, and also if they live far from the house, what impact does it have on the company in terms of productivity, and then how can the company help them to ensure that they live closer to the office, right? Then we look at the educational background of each one of them. We have 1 to about 4. 1 will be maybe level 2 MVQ, 3 probably be BSc, and then 4 can be postgraduate, and then other some professional qualifications. While 2 can be degrees. Then we have educational field. We have employee count, which is unique number, which is one per count. Then our employee number is unique to each individual. So we have something on environmental satisfaction. What do they think about the environment? We have gender. We have hourly rate. We have job involvement. What are the job levels? Right. So right now, job roles, job satisfaction. You can see the job satisfaction. You have the marital status, the monthly income, the monthly rate. Then we have number of company they've worked with probably before joining us. Then we have over 18. In terms of age, are they over 18? Yes or no? I believe yes. Overtime, they do overtime. What is the percentage salary hike? What is performance rating? What is the relationship satisfaction with the company? 1 will be unsatisfied, 2 will be not satisfied, but I think 3 and 4 will be very satisfied and exceptional or something. Well, we're going to do some ratings about that too if you want to look more into those KPIs. This is more like a survey, right? So it is not left to us to interpret this survey into something meaningful, right? So whenever you're designing a dashboard, you have to spend quite some time to understand the employee data that you are working with, and that will give you the insights into the KPIs that you should bring into light, apart from having a meeting with your stakeholder and then your stakeholder discussing the KPIs they want to see. Sometimes if your stakeholders are specific about the KPIs they want to see, then you don't need to go beyond that. Stick to that KPIs, right? But if you want to if they gave you a few KPIs and they told you to, bring out some other insights, then you can go ahead to, put more KPIs on the dashboard, or create a more detailed report to show some kind of analysis on how the company or the employee welfare can be improved, right, based on your insight. Then let's move on to stock option level. They have stock option level. Standard hour is the same, 80 hours, I think, per month or per week. I'm not sure yet. Then total working years that they've worked with the company is this. Then training times last year. So with training, we can look at number of completion of training. If we say our goal as an HR is that an employee must complete at least minimum of 2 to say we have achieved our goal and that employee is well trained, then we look at number of people or number of employee that has completed the training within a period of that meets that goal of minimum of 2. But if less, then we can say these guys have not achieved their goals. Then we can look at the our training KPI to say we have achieved our training KPI for the year, to say 80% of our employee must be trained or must have completed the trainings. But if less, then that means we have not achieved our KPI for that training within that year, and we might need to work on how we can tell them or find some initiative to help employee to complete more trainings. In my channel, I love to explain more on the data before moving into the dashboard. As you understand that when you're dealing with data, you have basically about 4 stages that you need to go through before coming to visualization. So for me, I'll talk about the data. yeah, there's nothing for us to do in terms of data manipulations and things like that. And also, we're not building data model in terms of relationship. We're dealing with one data. I can easily separate this into dimensions and values using my schema methodology that I've talked about in some of my courses before, and which gives you more insight and more flexibility to work with. But also, because I don't want to start dividing this up into different files, I don't want to, that would take more of my time, especially in this video. But if you want to go that route, you might need to watch my video on the schema, on how to work with schemas, and then separating your data file into, values and dimensions and things like that. And then at the end of the day, building that data relationship with them. Right, but yeah, it's pretty straightforward for me, so I'm just going to work from this perspective. So we have work-life balance, we have years at company. This is the number of years they spent over company. Then this is the years in current role. Here I'm looking at what is the relationship between the years spent in current role and the monthly pay or overtime. That doesn't mean, let's say years at the company. The more you stay in our company, the you earn more. And let's say the more you stay in your current role, does your salary increase more? You mean? Then again, we're going to look at promotion since the last time. I want to see the number of people that have been promoted. On the average, an employee should be promoted every 3 years. I mean, from the country by standard, right? Although you have your annual salary increase, but I think every 3 years it is important to promote your employees. So we see the number of employees that is within that range of 3 years and above, if they've been promoted or not, and if not, then we see the number of people that are not promoting. This will become more relevant when we are dealing with the attrition level, whereby we are looking at different KPIs and then trying to get an insight why people leaving the company. Is it because they're not getting enough training, or is it because they're not being promoted, or is it because of work-life balance issues, or is it because they are not given stock options, right? Or is it because they spent quite some time with the current manager and they probably doesn't like the current manager and they want to leave? We look at different scenarios and different variables influencing our attrition. Alright guys, so this is all about my data. Then I'm going to jump into the visualization straightforward. If I want to do a quick check on your data and your data type here, it is very important. Let's look at age and days. Let's look at attrition. Let's look at days. This text, which is fine. This is also in number, which is good. Then this is department. I love to move my text at once, so just click on this, then drop. Then distance from home, we have education, life. So I like to move my dimensions as one. So I'm dragging those columns to be the same. Then I'm going to look at the male, gender. Then I'm going to look at the gender generally. I'm going to look at the job role. I'm looking at the marital status. I guess I'm going to remove this, take this, and this. So I'm pressing control, hold on control shift, no, just control. So I hold on the control arrow. Okay, then I'm going to move this. So these videos, then I'm going to put it here, 3 of them. Yeah, so I love how I have all the text on one side, and so I'm going to leave the age here. I can as well move the age forward to this part. So I have the fact that I have all this right about my data, right? I have the gender. I can move my gender to be here. Okay, so I have this. more like I have all the employees, and this is the data relating to them in terms of text, and then I have all the numbers in terms of the field in terms of numbers. So I'm going to translate some of these into certain things, but let's go to our main dashboard. This video is going to be a little bit long, so it's going to be divided into different parts. So please ensure you watch all the parts. Then I'll also do a fast-paced dashboard, maybe under 20 minutes. That will not involve any explanation. I'll just go straight to the point and now do my thing. All right, guys. And for those that will be watching my, that subscribe to my course on interactive dashboard, especially on the data analysis part. So we would have covered this in our normal lecture, and then you can as well watch the 20 minutes video, which is a fast-paced video that goes straight to the point without any explanation. You can just follow along as well. All right, guys, so let's go to our main dashboard. Let's close this. Then let's apply our changes. So this is fine. So this is our visual. So this is our canvas. I want to do some canvas settings. So come here. Then I'm going to go to our canvas settings. I want this to be in the middle. I want this to be in the middle. Then I love to customize this. So let's make this. I'm going to put this at 900. I want to make it big. Right. Then I'm going to pick this at 400. Yeah, but I think this is a bit too big. So let's make this at 40. Okay, so I like it this way. Now I've increased my canvas. Again, I'm going to change the background. Right. So this background, remember we designed our background for a visual that we want the other time, right? But for you might want to brainstorm, do some visual first before you design your background. But for me, because I've done some certain things, I'll bring in my background. Okay, so let's bring the background later. Right. Okay, so let's just bring the background. Browse. Then I'm going to be using this working background. So this is a visual that I want to use to build my dashboard. Right. Okay, so I'm using this visual. All right. Again, look at, this is the first thing that we did when we started our dashboarding. Right. Okay, so this is more like doing your dashboarding. This is what's called dashboarding. Now you have this. I want to show displays. I will probably show the total payroll cost. This is some of the KPIs that we are given to display. Here, I'm going to show total employees that we have, and then I will display some in terms of gender and things like that. Or no, as we brainstorm, I can probably put total employees here, then put the total amount that we pay out, total payroll cost here. Yeah, I can show some gender here in terms of distribution that we have in our company. Yeah, I can show by staff. Yeah, I can show yes spend the complaints. Yeah, I can show distribution by job roles and things like that. In this area, I'm going to focus more on the KPIs using card. This card, I'm going to show different job satisfaction level and things like that. Yeah, again, I will see what to put here. Yeah, I'm going to put our test. Yeah, I'm going to put our filter. So I already have a design of what I want to do. Like I said, you can watch my course on YouTube. I think on Udemy as well, where I talk more on dashboarding in terms of your filters, your your date and things like that. So we have title here, we have filters here, and I will put some navigation here as well. But navigation will be more relevant when I'm dealing with attrition dashboard. Anyways, guys, so let's move on to the next part of the video whereby we work on our data now. So I'm on the, remember that we have three type of views in Power BI. We have the report views, we have the table views, then we have the relationship views. Here we have just one data, so I won't be building any relationship with our data today. However, if I want to slice, I can slash this off into different schemas level, and make it a schema and then connect them all together, right? But I won't be doing that. Like, I don't have that much time today. Anyways, so let's go to our table and let's play around with our data to get some insight. Already, I'm seeing some dimensions here. I want to show the total number of employees we have in our company to start with, and then I want to show what is the gender, how many people we have as male, how many people we have as female, and how many people do we have as, I think we only have 2 gender here, so I'm going to stick to that too. Then I can stick to some other binary numbers, but we don't have that in our data. Again, I'm going to look at what is the influence of travel, right? Then I'm going to use that, look at different departments, educational field, then job roles. I can look at marital status. Then I can look at the age level as well. I can look at the age range. This is a nice thing to look at. What is the range you have in your company? Then I can look at job role, job level as well. What is the level that we have? Level 1. You have the entry level, middle level, and things like that. So this will provide more insight as we go along. So the first thing I'm going to do is to count all my employees in the company. So I'm going to create a measures table. So to create a measures table, simply go here, go to enter table. Please look at my column, at my mouse or cursor as I work on this data. Then I'm going to put the name here, measures. Let's call it measures. Edit. So there's nothing really here in this column. Same one. So click on edit, apply changes. So this is done. Let's look at our measure. This is our measure. Okay, so we have just one column here. So here I'm going to create measure. I'm going to create measure called total employee we have in the company. So here I'm going to create total employee we have in the company, because I don't want to like living space between my name. I use a camel typeface. So to create total employee you have in the company, you start with what we call count rows. Count rows is going to count all unique rows we have in our data set. And here is requesting for table. I want to count my HR employee attrition table. Count individual table that we have there, individual data that we have there. So it's going to count per rows. And we know that each row contains our employee data, right? And this is counting unique rows. So now let's take some card to see total employee that we have. So I'm going to use this card. Then I'm going to put it here to see at glance what do we have here. So we have employee to be 1470. Now let's put some design here. I'm going to put some comma here. Okay, so this is nice. I'm going to change this name later. Now, so we are getting started already. Let's put some text here. Our title will be, let's call this HR Human Resource Talent Dashboard or Employee Dashboard. Well, Human Resource already means employee. Let's just say HR Dashboard. Okay. You can put HR Analytic Dashboard. Right. That sounds, that sounds techy. So let's make this bold. Let's make this level 16. Let's make it 20. Right. It's gonna be black. Fine. Let's put this here. Yeah, this aligns with this. Alright, so this is fine. We have our HR Analytic dashboard. Again, we have this. The next thing we want to show. So this is our anchor formula. Remember, I spoke about anchor formulas, different kind of different kind of measure that you do, and how you can use them to manipulate your DAX whenever you are working with some different visualizations, and then you want to filter or use calculate functions and things like that. You will need an anchor measure first. Right, so again, I want to see employee by, let's say, this would be employee by departments first. Because we have our card here, normally I will have displayed all my cards so that it can be seen at first glance. But since we already have that, so let me just move on to display some other things useful here. Yes, I'm going to move to gender. I want to filter by gender. This total employee, I want to see employee by gender. Then I'm going to be using this card visual. I'm going to click on gender, then minimize this, see employee by gender. Then I have this. So 40% of our employee are what? Female. Why? Okay, so why 80% of our employee is male. So we have 882 and then why 558. So I'm going to just display this like this. But instead of using pie chart, let me use this donut chart. Okay, so donut chart make more sense to me. Okay, so I'm going to put this here. So yeah, I want to see total employee, then I want to see them based on their department. Let's say what department has the highest number of our employee. Now the total question is, how many employees do we have in the company? We have this. Now another question is, how many employees do we have per job level or per department? So I'm looking for department. We have department here. Then I'm going to see total employee here. Then let's use these charts. Let's use cluster charts. Okay, this seems nice. Yeah. Again, yeah, I'm going to look at, you see, because we are looking at a very simple data, so we are not doing a lot of measures, right? A lot of DAX, but we're still going to get to doing a lot of measures, especially when we are working on the attrition dashboard. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward and quite easy to understand, right? Yeah, I want to look at total employee we have in the company. This is looking at total employee at the total base. This is just a general information to the HR, right? Not really something trying to dig into some issues and things like that, but they will see the KPIs at a quick glance, like I said at the beginning of the video. Yeah, we're going to put some KPIs in terms of the employee satisfaction, training completion, KPIs. How are we doing as an HR in doing this, right? Based on data that we have. So here I'm going to go into number of years that people have spent in the company, right? So let's look at some line charts. And then I'm going to look at what is the monthly income of people. And by staying in the company for some time, what does that tell us? So let's look at training. Now let's look at current years in current role to begin with. Yes, in current role is this. Now we have X, come to this, X as axis and then Y axis. I'm going to move. I want years in current role to be on the X axis, right? So that this will show the years. Then I want our monthly income to be on the average and not sum, because we are looking at the average, right? Then let's enlarge this and see what this is telling us. So going by this data, we have people, the long. So this is telling us that the more they stay in the current role, right, the more their salary, monthly income increases, right? So that is what this is telling us, which is actually nice, right? This is quite interesting to see. This is quite an insight to see. Say if employee comes and say, you can talk to your employee and say, the more you stay in the company, the more your salary will increase, your monthly income will increase as well. So this is talking about some retention strategy around there for the for the HR guys. Now let's look at the number of people we have per job roles. What is the highest number of people that we have in job roles? So I'm going to consider this job role. Let me just Control Z to undo. Then let me put on KPI that can show what we have there. I'm going to show donut. Let me try field map. I'm going to try something called tree map here. So I want this tree map to show, because I'm showing a lot of data in terms of job role and total employees that we have there. So this would make sense to show. But you can change this. Probably you can use, let's say you want to do some, say, funnel chart. You can use this as well. This is not bad. So I can use this to cover this whole part. Right. However, I want this box to show two types of charts. Yeah, and equally you can use this. Say you can do this as well. This makes sense by job role. Right. Okay, maybe I will leave it this way. But let me try. I mean, there's so many ways to display your data, but I think this visual makes sense to me. So because I want to make this shorter, I'll put this here. Then I might need to put some other visuals here, so I don't want to kind of occupy this this area, right? This is meant for two, but I don't think we are doing. If it's meant for one visual, then I'm just going to display my whole stuff using this column bar chart, horizontal column bar chart. All right, so again we have this. What else do we want to show? These are KPIs we're going to show here in terms of our measure. Now, do you want to show employees we have by job level? Right. That should give us some insight as well to say these are the employees that we have by job level. Right. And then we can show some data here in terms of employee number, department, and the kind of education they have, things like that. Or probably we can just show a simple table here. Yeah, so yeah, let's do employee by job level. Okay, so we have job level, and then I want to say total employee by job level. Because our job level is a number, right? So this is showing as a summation. But what we want to do is not to sum up the job level, rather is for us to show them as a text. I can easily go back and change it to text, but I won't do that. I don't need to do that. So I'm just going to put this on the x-axis and make sure this is not treated as number. So doing that shows this is not treated as number. So I'm going to put this here. So I have employee by job level. This is quite interesting, right? Okay, so you can put it here, but we still need to rearrange this at the end of the day, right? I'm just trying to brainstorm where to put my visuals. Yeah, I want to see what is the impact of people when they stay in the country for so long. What does that tells us? So Okay, so let me see marital status and our employees as well. Okay, so let's say what we have here. I love column chart. It's very easy to show what you need to show. Then you can use, let's use pie chart for this. Okay, so yeah, this is our pie chart showing okay, so I'm thinking of making this a stock column bar chart, 100% stock chart, to give us an insight to say. So we look at this and this seems to give us more insight to say we have about level 1, our level 2. Employees in our level 1 and level 2 constitute more than 50% of the total employee base that we have in the company. So this gives more kind of insight at a glance, right? So I'm thinking of putting this here using column stack 100% column chart here. So I'm using 100% stack bar chart here. You will need to move the job level to be your legend and then nothing in the Y axis for you to be able to display this. Just please follow along what I did here. Okay, so we have one chart to go that I'm going to put here before we move into our cart. So we have display job role, marital status, gender. In terms of department, we've done that as well. Education, yeah. Okay. Now let's do some CAD thing that we can work with. Yeah. I would love to show something. I might remove it later, but I'm thinking of doing number of employee and then job involvement, if that makes sense. What would that tell us? Job level. We've done job level. Yeah, this is our job level. We have done job roles, marital status. We can look at travel. Show the travel. Well, let's look at attrition anyways. We can look at attritions. We can make this kind of this. Right. So this shows marital status of our employees. Then we can do attrition level to say, give me a pie chart and I want to see my attrition level and my total employees here. So what this means is we have out of our employee base, people that said yes means people that is leaving or people that have left the company, and this shows people that is left. However, this seems not like a great visual. I'm going to do 202 comparison. I'm just gonna use this. There's not much difference here. Okay, so let's do this then. I'm going to move this job level to show job level. Then I'm going to take this. I'm going to make this a stock chart. I'm going to make this a legend. So yeah, I'm showing that. So we retain more than 50% of our employee, and only a small portion of our employee leaves, which is just 16%. I've left our complaint. So I think this makes sense, right? All right, so let's work on some cards. So the first thing I want to say is what is our total payroll cost here. So I'm going to click on the monthly. I'm going to take our card. Then I'm going to see what is our total monthly payroll, monthly income. So our monthly income is 10 million. So we pay out 10 million as our total payroll cost. Right, so you can create a measure for this, just not rely on what we have there. I'm going to click this and I'm going to make the sum because our employee count is unique and individual, so I don't need to do iteration per column. So I'm just going to use total payroll cost, total monthly income. Then I'm going to do sum. What do I want to sum? I want to sum my monthly income. So I'm going to type monthly income. I want to sum everything up. So doing that, I'm going to change this card to remove this. Then I'm going to use this card, which gives us the same amount. But this is, we are rest assured that this is well calculated, right? Again, we want to see. Okay, so we want to see the number of employee attrition, people that are leaving and people that are not leaving. So I think what I can do as an extension to this is I can move this up. I can move this up and I can show my payroll cost here. So I'm showing two visuals here to say we have to so this is an assumption that we have 1,470 employees in the company. Our total payroll cost is 10 million. Yeah, we don't have monthly dimension, so that's not how we want to play with that. So I'll just say this is our total payroll cost, right? And we have employee that are leaving, though they are going to leave, which I said, okay, yes, this employee is going to leave, which is this small portion, and no, this employee are going to stay. So with that, we're going to show that. So what is the count of employee that we have active? What is the count of employee that are leaving? So I'm going to show them with these two visuals first to give more clarity on this. So what I'm going to do is to count. So I'm going to do a count function to say a count measure. I'm going to say active employee. I'm going to say, now I want to filter. We already have total employees here, so I need to use the calculate functions to filter. I'll bring in my total employee as the anchor measure. Then I'm going to say, I want to filter with attrition, right? So I'll just write attrition. This will give me the table and then the name. Then I'm going to click on the first one. I want this. I want you to filter based on that and give me the count. Then click OK. So I'm going to take a cut here. I'm going to put total employee. Now this can't display. Something is wrong. Okay, so this is what is happening. You see, I need to indicate I'm not counting everything, right? I'm going to filter. I have missed something. This should be this total employee equals, okay, equals people leaving are saying no, right? Where we have no, right? So you need to put that in that. We go back to our data model. Let's go back to attrition. Attrition says yes or no, right? This is text. And for us to say, I want to filter this, I want to bring just people that are saying no, then we need to include equals yes or no. Then yes means people that are leaving the company already. So I'm going to put, this is the active that we have here. Yeah, I can do some formatting here. Active employee, put some commas. Give us some commas here. Okay, this seems to be the cat. Then number of people not leaving, I'm going to do another measure. Number of people that is leaving again. Then yeah, I will say employee leaving, right? Or let's say not active employee. We can rename our cat, not active employee. Then we're going to say calculate function. Our base will be total employee that we already have there. Then we're going to say give us the attrition table, attrition column. Then where they have said yes, this our employee leaving, what is the count of this employee? Okay. Then I will take another card. Click on this. Take another card and put not active employee here. So we have 237 employee that is leaving or the company is going to let go. Right. So we have this. Now that we have this, what else do you think we can put here? The remaining two cards, I'm going to display job satisfaction level. Right. I want to show that our employee, what is our job satisfaction level? But again, I can look at the attrition level, or let's try and do turnover rate. Turnover rate is a bit kind of different because I'm going to be using the average of our employee of total employee, then as a percentage of people that have indicated that they are leaving. Right. But if we are doing job attrition level, we're going to be doing percentage of these guys, people leaving, and over the percentage of the total level, and not really the average, and that will show us the attrition level, which is about, I mean, if you calculate it, like, we can give it a shot and show the two. But turnover rate, use the two, use an average, because we are looking at what is the number of employees we have at the beginning of the year and what is the number of employees that we have at the end of the year. But yeah, really we don't have the date function, but this is, let me show you the turnover level. I'll show the turnover level, I'll show the attrition level. Right, they ideally speak to the same, right? Just the way they are being calculated, and ideally is about the justification of, I'll prefer turnover rate. Right, now let's calculate our turnover rate. I'm going to show turnover rate. What's our turnover rate? Turnover rate, remember we have to say this is the total number of people leaving, so we're going to say what? So I'm going to say this is, I'm going to divide this and say not active, give me the not active employee. Okay, now we are looking at the total employee level that we have, which is unique number. Then I'm going to say this should be an average, remember. Then I have to put average of, okay, now let's say total employee, but this will not show total employee again because we're using an average. We have to go to our table, then you can use your employee number. So this is going to count our employee number. Remember that our employee number is, okay, so our employee number is unique. Let's say count employee number. Now I want to put count function. Okay, employee number. Okay, I'm using count function, turnover rate 23%. That's correct. Now I'll make this a percentage. Go back and make this a percentage. Then I don't want extra, I just want it to be 0 decimal. Right. So we have this. So our turnover rate is 23% because I'm using average. But let's say I'm to use attrition level. Let me put this here. Let's say I'm to use the attrition level. I'm going to say measure, and yeah, I'm simply doing attrition level. So I'm going to say not active. I'm going to say divide. Not active employee, then over our total employee, we're going to say okay, bring in another card, then put attrition level on it. Attrition level is showing 60%. Now I think you know the difference between these two. I don't need this, I need this. I want this to be 0. Well, so attrition level shows that it's looking at total number of people leaving over the total base that we have, not taking consideration of what is the beginning number and what is the employee number at the beginning and what is the employee number at the end of the year. So it's not taking cognizance of the average. It's just looking at the total base as a whole. While turnover rate is taking the average of employee, looking at what's the beginning at the beginning of the year, and plus what is the addition, what is the ending balance as well. Then looking at what is the turnover rate, So that's the difference between the two. Now let me show some job satisfaction here. I can show job satisfaction here. Then I can show some training KPIs as well. You can do performance, but I think they probably have a good performance rating. You can you as an employee too, you want to probably check what's the performance of your company. Well, it's fine. So let me put some filters there first. Let's just do some filters. Those are the easy ones to do. I want to be able to filter by, let's say, gender, right? Then I'm going to make the slicers to be tie. I want to make it horizontal as well. Do I need header? For now, I'm going to take off the header. The values are fine here. Then I'm going to do general. I'm going to do some effects. How do I want this? Let me put some shadow. Okay, I'll spend more time with this later, but for now, let's just make it this way. Let me put this here. I'll do more design later. Then I want to do department as well. For departments, I want to make my departments. I want to see things by department as well. So let's put some filter, departments, and so we have this here. We can make this. What type do you want? Drop down is fine. Let's make it a drop down. Okay. Okay. So we do more design here. So what I'm just literally doing right now is putting all the visuals there that we do some, some appealing design later on. So here again, I want to look at TOCAT. I want to look at what is the job satisfaction within our complaint. This is very important, right? Because if your employee are not satisfied, and you are seeing the rate of satisfaction, it's easier for you to easily do something about it than when you don't even know anything about what is your job satisfaction level. Again, I'm going to look at the training completion rate as well in the complaint. Training is very important to the HR as well, and then to see how many people are completing at least 2 trainings in our employee, which means what is the rate of meeting our goals. So I'm looking at trainings, I'm looking at the job completion. Then later on we can look at some other things like the performance rating when we are doing the attrition dashboard. Then we can also do some investigation in terms of what is the average rate that we pay our employee, and then does it make sense comparing to the competitors? Maybe that will give us some insight why our guys are leaving us. All right, guys, so let's go back to our model. So I'm going to delete this. I don't need this, so I'm just going to delete this from the model. Right, so this is our employee attrition level. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to. So what are we doing here? Okay, look at this data. I mean, this is like give us so many insights. Okay, so this is the training times. We have 1, we have 2, we have zeros. So easily what I do, I just look at my data. We have 0, 1, from 0 to 6. So if we are doing minimum, let's say in a year, I think an employee should do at least minimum of 3 trainings. So minimum of 3 trainings will show that we are achieving our our target. But I think that's probably too harsh. Not too harsh, it depends on the complaint goals. But here I'm going to use 2 to say if an employee is doing minimum of 2 and above, that shows that we are meeting our goals. And then we look at that percentage to the total number of employees and the trainers as well. So this is what's going to do. This is because our employees count are unique numbers. So what I'm going to do is to create a measure to say what is the total. I would say so instead of doing this is what let me create another column first. I'm looking at the best way to do this. So I'm going to create a conditional column. Let's go to Homes and let's create a conditional column. So yeah, we have to transform our data back, and then I'm going to look at this column. So I'm on the training, right? So I'll say, okay, I want to create a conditional column. I will say add column, conditional column. Then I'm going to call this is going to be in text, training. So goal. So if an employee has done 2 and above, I'll say goals met. And if they haven't, I will say goals training not met. I will say training goals met and training goals not met. So I'll just say yes and no. So I will say, look at the training times, Yes, if 20 times equals to is equals so here I'm going to create a conditional column that says the conditional column is say is this greater or equals to 2. If so, I'll say yes.
Daddy! What's that, Daddy? What's that? Is that good?
Else, I will say no. Alright, again, I'm going to look at work-life balance. So I'm going to say that if you have, let's look at work balance. Yeah. So we have our rating to be a lot more between 1 and 4. So if you have anything 3 and 4, I'm going to say you have a work balance, a work-life balance. But anything less than that, you don't have a work-life balance. So again, I'm going to create a conditional column. Then I'm going to say work-life balance. I'm going to say employee work-life balance. So equals or greater than 3, I'm going to say yes, you have a work-life balance. Anything less than that, I'm going to say no, you don't have a work-life balance. Again, I'm gonna look at okay, so work-life balance is done. We've done training, total working years, that is years at company, years in current role. Let's look at promotion as well. So from promotion, I'm going to say minimum of 3 and above. Yes, you are due for promotion if you have if your last promotion was 3 years ago. But anything less than that, I would say you're not due for promotion. So let's add another conditional column, and here I'm going to say promotion. So anything, let's say yes. Let's look at yes since the last promotion. If it's equals or greater than 3, I'm going to say yes, you are due for promotion. Due. Anything not less than that, I would say not due. So that means you're not due for promotion. Okay, so I have this now. Then okay, so I have this. Let's look at satisfaction. Let's see the number of employee. So okay, let's look at stock option as well before satisfaction. Let's say employee with stock satisfaction. Well, I'm not sure on the basis of employee having stock within the company. Normally, it's about number of years you spent within the company, right? So if you're given a stock, it will require you to have some condition to say you have to stay with the company for a minimum of 3, 5, 10 years, so depending on the condition. But yeah, there's nothing like that. So just have stock option. We see people with 0 and they've spent 7 years within the company, right? So years at the company. Okay, I think total working years, this is depending on the experience generally, either within the company or outside the company. But years at the company, yeah, let's say years at company. So people with 6 years, 0. People with 10 years have 0, have 1. People with 0, 8. So even people that spent 2 years in the company have stock option to be 1. So people that spent 2 years have 1, 7, 0, 1 year has 3. So the basis for this is not really clear. I can't say depending on the number of years we spent in the company. But however, this stock option level is going to be very useful for us when we are dealing with attrition level. So the attrition level will show clearly maybe people are leaving because they don't have stock option, or perhaps because people decide to stay because they have stock option. Another thing is if you are offered stock option, maybe there's a condition to say you can either accept or not, depending on the price of the stock option. Probably the price wasn't favorable. Employee decided not to, accept the stock option. So that could be part of the reason why we see people with longer years of staying in the company, but yet they don't have stock option. So let's say greater than or equals to 1. We say yes, you have stock option, and no stock option. Right, so this could give us an insight into employee with stock option or not. Again, I'm going to look at relationship satisfaction, employee rating. Overtime is good already. Okay, so let me just do the last one, which is relationship satisfaction. I think somewhere around there I've seen, okay, this is job satisfaction. Okay, then we have environmental satisfaction. Okay, so that is job satisfaction. And then the environmental satisfaction talks about our company, the environment that we work in. What does our employee think what does the employee think about that? Are they written as well? Are they not written as well? Then we can look at those two to see how we can better improve the environment that we work in and how satisfied they are. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at the job satisfaction level first. Are they satisfied with their job or not? So conditional column again. Then the first thing to do, we have a rating between 1 and 4, right? So anything above 2, I would say they are not satisfied. Anything from 3 and 4, I would say they are satisfied. And then we're going to look at that percentage to see how we are meeting our job satisfaction level. So I'm going to say job satisfaction rating. So I would say anything, I don't want to overplay this. I can do a rating of scale to say we are giving either 1 star, 2 stars, or 3 stars, or 4 stars, but really I don't want to do star, I'm focusing on percentage so that so that the HR can work on that to say we have 68% job satisfaction, and then they can look at it from different levels as well to say, if you look at level 1, level 2, level 3, the job satisfaction in this level is this and this and this and this, and they can work on that to improve the job satisfaction at each level or at the company level as well. So I'm just going to do job satisfaction. If it is equals to or greater than 3 should be okay. Anything 2, I don't think 2 is just fair, and 2 is not quite enough. For me, for HR to meet up with their goals, I would say your job satisfaction level has to be at 3. So I would say yes. I can say yes. I will also say satisfied. Number of satisfied. Okay. And I will say not satisfied. Not satisfied. Okay, so we have this. Then I can do this for the environment as well. The environment where our employee works. Are they satisfied with the environment? Yes or no? You can do yes or no. So this is the environment again. I would say the rating is between 1 and 4. Right. I would say environmental satisfaction. Maybe the office is not too good, you know, and there's a need for us to improve the office vicinity, which is part of things we should consider, right? Job satisfaction rating. This is environmental equals to, well, greater than 3. Anything 3 is okay. Then anything else is not satisfied. Not satisfied. Okay, so we pretty much have some things we can show right now. Performance rating is okay. I think let me look at performance rating. Well, we have performance rating between 3 and 4, which means they are doing exceptionally well. I mean, the employees. That means they are good. They are doing well. I think when we have 1 and 2, then I probably will have shows or metrics around that, but I don't think I need to show that. You can show that in your own stuff if you want. Okay, so we are done with this for now. We'll come back to this later. I'm going to go back to home, close, and apply. Right now, I'll go back to our visualization. Okay, now I have this. This is attrition level. This is turnover level, turnover rate. This is active employee. This is not active employee. I'm still going to decrease the same size. I think I'll remove this attrition level, right? I'm just gonna show this not active. Then I'm going to show turnover rate. Okay, I remove the attrition level rate because I need to show job satisfaction. So what I'm going to do now, I'll need to create another measure. Right. So under our measure, I'm going to say job satisfaction percentage. Okay, so before we can do job satisfaction, right, we need to, okay, so the long way of doing this is to count total jobs, the survey that we have, right? But I think each and every all the employees actually feel the job satisfaction rating, right? On a good day, we just need to count what is the job satisfaction level that we have there. So what I can do is just to count. Let me do count, and I want to count job satisfaction just in case an employee did not feel job satisfaction, so that we don't over, go ahead and count what we don't have there in terms, in case we don't have data, but we have the data anyway. So let's do job satisfaction. This will be job satisfaction rating. Okay, so we're counting all the job satisfaction, right? Then I'm going to put this as total job satisfaction, right? Okay, so this is total job satisfaction count. Let me see what we have. This should give us 1,470. Good. Now I'm going to count number of employees satisfied. Job satisfied. I will say job satisfied. Then I'm going to use my calculate function again. Remember, we need an anchor formula. What we want to filter, which is going to be job. We're going to do total jobs satisfied. Then we're going to do count our HR, count our job satisfaction, rating, what we have certified to be yes. Then let's look if we have a good output. What do we have? We have 901. So 901 are satisfied with what we have done. Well, number of people that are not satisfied, we don't need to do that because we're just doing the rating, and then we want to see the level we are in. So what we need to do is just find a job satisfaction rating percentage. So we're just gonna say let's divide job satisfied, then total job survey that we did, and then we're going to remove this. I'm going to put the rating here, so which is 61%. So it means 61% of our employee are satisfied with their job. Okay, 61% of our employees are satisfied with their job. And again, we can look at number of employees not satisfied with their job, but we don't need that. So automatically we know that 39% of our employees are not satisfied with their job, and there's a need for us to do more in terms of improving the job satisfaction level within the company. Again, we're going to look at number of people. Okay, let's do the training bit. Okay, so for the training, we create similar measures like we have done. Then we do, we'll say training goals. People meeting, so we can count the total number of training goals, training that we have, just to ensure that all the people filled in that bit. So I'm going to count HR, then training. What is the training level that we have? So people meeting the training goals. Okay, all employees fill the survey. I need to count that first. Then I will need to check training goals, total training goals. Yeah, so that means total employee fill days. Count. Okay, so now we want to see total number of employee that said, but normally we can just go the route of total employee without coming through this, since we are sure that all of them filled in the that bit, that column. We don't have empty rows. Yeah, so I'm just going to do total. Let me do training goals achievement. Training goals percentage by HR, and I will say I'll use calculate function. I'm going to look at total training goals count. So yeah, I'm looking at achieved. Then I'm looking at training. People that said, I think yes, where we have yes. Okay, just to be sure that this works. Okay, then I'm going to do training goal percentage. So achieve training goals percentage achieved percentage is going to be training goals achieved. People that said yes. Remember, we need to put our divide. We need to divide this. Training goals achieved. Then we need to look at the total training goals count that we have. Like I said, you could have put just an employee and that will work. Then let's put this at percentage. Let's make this 0. Yeah, let's see the training goals achieved rating. We are at 99%, 91%, which means we are doing a good job. So we achieve a lot of trainings in the company, which is good. Okay, so we have this now. These are very good KPIs that we have. Again, we can see the number of people that live far and close from home. And we can say far, not far. That means we can determine that by certain kilometer, and then we can work on that as well. But that is a lot of KPIs, and you can go ahead and put that in your own dashboard. Anyway, so let's look at this and see what other things we can add in terms of measure before we move on. So I'm going to come back to our data model. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to see some of the KPIs we can work. Environment satisfaction level. As HR, I think we need to know this as well. employee with stock, you can see this as well. Employee with work-life balance, we can look at this as well. Okay, so we can do this as well. Let's look at this. So we have so many KPIs. This is 1, 2, 3. So let's just find a way to include more. So since we have turnover level to be 33%, I'm going to let this go. I'm going to remove this. Right. Then I'll bring in another KPI that shows, let's say, that shows, do environmental. People satisfied with our environment. Functioning. Oh, ok. Variați. O variație. Da, e mistake now. O variație. Except satisfaction liberating. Okay, so I'm going to do employee job satisfaction in terms of environment. So yeah, I'm going to do a quick, I'll just say environment, enviro satisfaction, satisfied. So I'm going to say, let's count number of people that are satisfied with our environment. Right, then I'm going to put a percentage here. Then I'm going to use calculate function straight. I'll bring in my total employee because I know they all fill the survey. Then I'm going to bring in the employee environmental satisfaction bit. So rating, then I wanted to say count the number of people that are satisfied with our environment. So I'll remove percentage here. I'll click OK. Then I'm going to do the calculation for the rating. I will do environment satisfied rating. Then this will be calculate function. Then I'm going to do total I'm going to do, let's divide, let's look at total number of people that are satisfied with our environment. So I'll do msat divided by its total employee, right? So I'll make this a percentage. I'll make this no decimal. I don't want decimal. Then I will get a card. Yeah, then I'm going to put environment satisfaction rating. It means 67% of people are satisfied with our environment, same as job satisfaction. So 39% are not satisfied with our environment, which is not good. So environment satisfaction, satisfied, then just satisfaction, just cross-checking on this. Alright, so this seems correct, yeah. So we're at 67%. Now, on the final note, I want us to look at the number of people that are due for promotion and people that are not due for promotion, right? So I can do this as a percentage or show box, but I can just show that we have 40% of people due for promotion, and then we can work towards on how we can reduce those that count. However, it would make sense to use, let's say, a pie chart to show the two. But now I'm looking at how I can do that now. Okay, I can move this here. Sometimes just need to play around. Then I can move here. And I can move this here. I can show active, and I can show not active here. Why? I have my turnover rate to be this. Then I can show here to be at the base. What's this? Training goals. We are achieving our training goals. People satisfied with our environment is this. It's also important KPIs to retain your employee. So lastly, I want to show a number of people due for promotion or not. So here I'm going to create new measures. Then I'm going to say due for promotion. Then I'm going to say calculate function total employee. Then I will say promotion. Then I want you to filter if this is yes, that is number of people due for promotion. Okay. Let's create another measure to look at the percentage. And I will say due for promotion. Here I'm saying total employee. Okay, let's put percentage rate. Again, I want to count total number of people not due for promotion because I might need it for something else. I'm going to filter total employee and say due for promotion. No, original table will say promotion. whether equals no. I wanted to cancel that. I'll go back to my visual. Yeah, let me say something quick. I'm going to use a bar chart, and this bar chart I'm going to say D for promotion or not. So I want D for promotion. I want okay, I need another visual. Let me click on this. Say D for promotion and not D for promotion. So something is wrong. Let me change this to this. D for promotion is not showing anything. Then not D for promotion. Showing 237 employee. No. It's also blank. So I mean something is wrong with our measure. So we are looking at this. Promotion. Let's look at what's going on with promotion level. Probably picking a wrong column. So let's go back to our data, our model, data model. Then let's look for some of the things that we did here. Here we're looking for due and not due for promotion. So we have promotion, not due. Okay. This is promotion, which means that is correct. Now let's look at due for promotion. Okay, so this should be, we're looking at due, and here we are looking at not due. Okay, so let's go back, let's check again. Give me, I want due for promotion. I want not due for promotion. So number of people due for promotion is, we have this. Should be this. That is rating 25%. So we have number of people due for promotion is this. Then number of people not due for promotion is this. Okay. So we have this. Okay, you can put it this way. Okay, so since we have this splitting to number of people living and people not living, you can just remove this. Then put D for promotion here and not D for promotion here to occupy this part of the model here. Or you can find a better way to display this. Column by chart will be too big for that, so I'm going to use by chart. So I'm going to use this. Okay, so we have something here. What should we put here? So we have environment already, we have job satisfaction already, we have train. So let's put the last measure here. So what will be our last measure? I think we have something here. Job satisfaction. So we can do employee with stock. I think we've done employee with work-life balance. Have we done that? no, we haven't done employee with work-life balance, which is really important. So let's look at employee with work-life balance. Here I'm going to create this. I'm going to say work-life balance. Then I'm going to calculate employee with years to say total employee. Let's look at work-life. This is because all the employees filled the survey. So in case where we have employee, if all the employees do not fill the survey, then you need to count the total number of people that filled the survey first. But I don't need to do that here because all the employees fill the survey. But you can see what I've done with job satisfaction and environmental satisfaction before now. So here we're bringing in the HR, and then I'm looking at work-life balance, employee work-life balance. I'm looking at people that said yes. These measures are pretty much the same. I haven't seen anything that's different. Just pretty straightforward. Then work-life balance percentage. So we're looking at the rating and we're saying work-life balance. Let's divide this work-life balance over work-life total employee. Right, and let's make this a percentage. Right, let's make this 0. Let's go back. We need the card visual. Then let's make this work-life balance. Okay, let's see work-life balance rating. So we have 71% of our employee as a work-life balance. So we as an HR can move forward to say we want employee to have more work-life balance. Let's say, give or take, let's say we are working towards 90% next year. Alright guys, so here I'm going to work on the visuals now. I've done pretty much work putting all this together. Now is to make the visual more appealing and then remove some edges as well. The rest of the video is fast paced. Please just follow along. Look at the console and then follow along by looking at what I'm doing. I'm just designing the visual. That was majorly what I did in this part of the video. Just turning off the background color and then putting some nice colors on our column or bars, and then some of our visuals as well. So please just follow along. You see my console highlighted in yellow. Follow along and see what I'm clicking, what I'm changing, and then do as I do as well. Thank you guys. Please watch the video to the end. I'm gonna see you in the next video, in the part 2 of this video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please click on the subscribe button to subscribe. Thank you so much guys. Thank you guys for getting to the last part of the video. Please, in the next video I'm going to work on the attrition dashboard. This is going to be like part 2 of this video. Please ensure you subscribe and then press the bell icon to receive notification whenever we upload a new video. Thank you guys for watching this, and I'm going to see you in the next video, which is the attrition dashboard. That will be fast paced and not really this long, right? Thank you guys. So I brought in some icons here to see how the visual is going to look like.